What's going on, everyone? It's my back again, and I'm really struggling with what the last 36 hours has been like as an Everton fan. It's been horrendous. Truly horrendous. It's hurt. It's hurt. There's loads of Liverpool fans, absolutely fucking tons, in the comments, loving this. Absolutely loving it. And you just sort of sit there and you just think, you're so obsessed. But then, I would probably laugh if it was their club. You know, I would laugh if it was their club because, yet again, Everton have to find a manager. Yet again. I think, how many is it now? Is it 4 in 6 years? 4 in 5 years? So 5 in 5 years? I don't fucking know. I've gone past caring. All I know is, ever since David Moyes left Everton, which was the best part of 10 years ago now, we've had lots of managers. Lots. I spoke to a few friends today, and a lot of people are just hurt by all of this. You know, England kick off later, I'm not really arsed. Ben Godfrey's been excluded again, I'm not arsed. I am arsed about that, actually, that's a lie, but Everton have just completely destroyed my mood. Like, completely. I've gone from thinking this summer window is going to be exciting and getting them players in early, to now we've got the task of finding a manager who might completely change the philosophy. I've got nothing constructive to say. That's my issue. I've got nothing constructive to say. Apart from, let's break down some of the managers Everton have been linked with. And I'm going to go through them just off the top of my head. I haven't wrote any notes down because I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. So, I'm not in the mood. And I'm just going to go yes or no as to my thoughts and feelings and why. So let's start with the Everton internals, which is Duncan Ferguson and David Unsworth. Now, if Duncan Ferguson would have had a full scholarship, we'll call it an education from Carlo Ancelotti over the last 18 months, I might be okay with that. But he hasn't. Duncan Ferguson, in the last 2 games of the season, repeatedly was telling Carlo Ancelotti things on the touchline, and Carlo didn't look like he even gave a shit about the words that were coming out of Duncan's mouth. I think Carlo's known this a long time. And he didn't care. He didn't care about Duncan. He didn't care about us as fans. He didn't care about the club. He didn't care about the project. He cared about the £19 million he pocketed. So for me, he's let Duncan down. So no, Duncan doesn't get the job for me because I don't think he will attract the players that we need to get us to where, as fans, we want to be. Let's be brutally honest. Where are Everton? Where are Everton Football Club right now? As an entity, where are we? We've got a team full of shit players over the last 5 years where we've invested poorly. We've got our biggest players probably won't be here next season. Duncan Ferguson, I don't think, can keep hold of James Rodriguez and Allen, some of these players. I don't think it will happen. So, I don't know. Duncan's not for me. David Unsworth, no. I thought the opportunity David had a couple of years ago now. I think he had 8 or 9 games, and we were still horrendous. It's not like he got that bounce that Duncan got. We were shit. So no, I'm not feeling him either. Then we move on to the external candidates who have previously managed Everton, because again, Marco Silva was apparently on a list of names approached by... I look like I've got massive tits in this t-shirt. I haven't. He was approached by Everton, or he was on the list or something. Now let me just put this in perspective. Fuck that right off, mate. No. Another one was Roberto Martinez, and I will say it to this day. If Martinez could defend, I still think he'd be in charge today. He just couldn't defend. He didn't have a fucking clue how to defend. Like, this was a guy that believed that having a sheet of paper under the tap would be enough to keep the water from coming out. And we all know that water goes through paper pretty fucking easy. So, no to him. Then we go on to managers externally to the Premier League, because we're going to come back into the Premier League ones in just a moment. Steven Gerrard. Look, I'll be the first Evertonian. I'm sure lots of Evertonians have said it. I'll be the first Blue to say he's done a fantastic job at Rangers. Well done. But I do not want that man anywhere near Goodison Park unless he happens to be managing the opposition. Like, no. Not a fucking chance, mate. Porto manager, Conceição, whatever his name is. I'm not against that. But he doesn't know the Premier League. And we've seen these managers who have done really well in Portugal and Holland, etc. They've come to the Premier League and they've been absolutely garbage. So again, it's a risk. And it's a risk that me personally, I don't want to take. So there's them two. Then you've got Ranić, again, a manager that Everton have been linked with 6 years now, probably, on and off. 6 years. He's a director of football now. Be interesting to see how or if he could work with Brands. Brands has just signed a new contract. He's the sort of manager that you could bring in and maybe not need a director of football, which doesn't fit with Everton, with Brands. Trust me, the bus is well and truly not at the fucking stop when it comes to Brands. Let's just say that. But he's just signed a deal. You can't, you can't bring another director of football in. Doesn't make sense. So, that one. Paulo Fonseca. It's the Premier League experience. Scares the shit out of me. So, next. Then you go to managers who have managed in the Premier League, who Everton are linked with. Eddie Howe, a manager that got Bournemouth relegated, who had a team of players like Wilson and Ryan Fraser and Nathan Ake and Brooks. So, I'm not saying anything on that front. It's a no. Then you've got Nuno Espirito Santos. I don't want him. I don't want him. the football Wolves played when they first got promoted, brilliant. Really enjoyed watching them. They were a bit like Leeds, aggressive, quick, moved the ball well, defensively fairly solid, play 3-5-2. The football this season, and even towards the end of last season, was horrendous. And I'm not saying I want pretty football. I don't actually. I've seen Sam Allardyce finish 8th, and although the football was shit, I actually had nothing against Sam. You knew what you were getting. I'm not saying I want him back, by the way. I don't. The football was horrendous, but he got us to 8th in the league after being 18th. I can't slag him off as some people do, and I get it. Like you know, we're all entitled to our opinions, but I can't slag Sam Allardyce off. Not for his time managing Everton. His comments after are just petty, but that, you know, whatever. At least he wanted to manage Everton Football Club, unlike Carlo Ancelotti, the equivalent of Sam. The Italian equivalent of Sam Allardyce ever said it. Poor football, 3-5-2 or 4-4-2. Horrendous, couldn't score goals, would win a game 1-0, defend. 1-1 would bring a CDM on. Look, I don't like Carlo, you can tell, can't you? I do not like Carlo anymore. His press conference today, by the way, at Real Madrid is an absolute farce. If you heard what he said about Everton, honestly, he's a disgrace. So, you can jog on. So, and then I look at the big picture, and there's 3 big... Are they big names? I'd say 2 are certainly big names. 1 was a big name. Let's talk about the was a big name. Rafael Benitez, former Liverpool manager, has since managed Newcastle. Made a comment about Everton being a small club about 14 years ago. Really, really rolled my cage. He's a manager that I'm really on the fence about. I think he's still got enough gravitas to bring in decent players. And I think he's got the right attitude, because I think we saw it at Newcastle. Although then he ended up leaving for China and taking a massive pay rise. So maybe he doesn't have the right. I mean, who fucking knows? I don't know. I'm just simply sitting in my living room, just speaking to you guys as if I know what I'm talking about. And you poor fuckers sit there every week, every single video, and you watch it, you like it, you subscribe. I've lost my fucking head. So, Benitez, I'm not against. But I'm not, trust me, I'm not hopping on the fucking boingy going, yes, bring him in. No, I'm none of that. But I'm I could tolerate it to a degree. Because it's a bad situation right now. There's no managers that sort of fit the bill. Anyway, so we move on. Then the other one is Antonio Conte, who looks like he's going to Spurs. And by all accounts, this move looks like an absolute disaster. It looks like an absolute disaster. Unless they give him money, which he would have got at Everton. But, well, we think. So, yeah, So, the biggest name is going to Spurs. And then I think there's only one other manager that I think is potentially, is Allegra. And it concerns me about the lack of Premier League experience. Maybe people want to throw in Sarri and people like that. But I don't know how much they fit the mould for Everton. Zidane is available. He could definitely attract players, but he's not going to come to Merseyside. So, I think we're lost. I genuinely, I will support any manager that stands in that dugout. But I'm really struggling to get excited for that manager. I'm really struggling to think I'm going to really enjoy getting in my car, driving 115 miles to the first home game, to watch a game that we may win, lose or draw, play attractive or non-attractive football, and not look over at a manager like Carlo Ancelotti, who you genuinely can say, for all of his faults, his substitutions, his team selections, everything, you sort of can say, I trusted him. And it's funny, actually. I look back and I've tried to piece some of this all together in my mind. And you think about his decisions at times. Bringing Delph on at 1-1. Bringing Gabarmin on at 1-1. Not playing Josh King, who was an attacker. Sticking with playing Richarlison over anyone else when he was really poor. I sort of think he might have been playing for this. I sort of think he might have been playing for the it sounds stupid. It could just be my deluded mindset. You know, don't send loads of hate in the comments. You don't know what you're talking about, Mike. I don't know what I think at the minute. I don't know what I think. All I know is I am fed up yet again that this process has to start again. And I spoke to Baz from Toffee TV today. A lot of you guys don't realise that me and Baz talk quite a lot. You know, me and Baz get on really well, and I was speaking to Baz and I said to him, I said, I feel a bit lost. And so does Baz. So do other, you know, just fans. We all sort of feel betrayed and lost. And it's a horrible, horrible feeling. I haven't felt like this since Arteta left on the last day of the transfer window. That was me as a 14, 15-year-old lad. How old was I? No, I was older than that. 2010. I was 16. No, 18. Fuck it. Whenever. I was gutted that day. I was genuinely, truly gutted when Arteta left. And I've sort of... I feel like it now. I feel like the club is stuck again, and I feel like there's no real winning for Everton. There's no real winning for us fans. I feel so deflated that I've got no hope. You know, it's almost like the last bit of faith has been punched out of me when it comes to Everton. You know, I love this club. I adore this club, and you know, it's fair for me to say because I see the stats, I see the amount of people who watch, and pretty much 75% of the people on this channel who watch me regularly have seen Everton win trophies, a league, FA Cups. You've seen us have history. What have I seen? I was around when we won the FA Cup. I was 3, so I don't count that. I've seen Everton get to 4 semi-finals. I've seen us qualify for the Champions League to be fucked over by a referee decision, which only would have took us to extra time anyway. Which then Diego Forlan subsequently scored and made it 3-1, which completely sank us. You know, I've watched us get beaten in the Europa League last 16 to Dynamo Kiev because Martinez completely fucked up the team and played the lad from Alcaraz I've seen us lose penalties against Fiorentina in the UEFA Cup, I think it was at the time. All I've seen is failure. And it hurts. I actually, you know, when you think about it, I actually don't get why I'm doing it. And I know why I'm doing it. I love the club. But I also hate them at the same time. I just don't know what I think anymore. I don't know what I think. I don't know who I trust. I don't even know who I like in the team anymore. You know, I love Ben Godfrey. I think a lot of the other fan channels will be more positive than me over the next coming weeks. And I understand if you guys stop watching this to a degree. Because I'm struggling. You know, I was really excited that it was a shit end to the season. Our last 12 games were a disgrace. Carlo was really bad. Did a bad job. Last 12 games of the season. But I did trust him. I trusted the recruitment for next season. And now we go into a Euros, a tournament where we've got fucking 4 right backs, 2 CDMs, 1 that's injured, Maguire who hasn't kicked a football, and a manager that doesn't know what he's doing, while dropping Ben Godfrey, who can literally play in all of the positions he might actually need a player, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I can't wait for Southgate to be sacked after this tournament, because it is literally a matter of time. But I'm not excited about the transfer window. I'm not excited about the manager search. I'm not excited about Nuno Espirito, whatever his last name, whatever his name is, coming to Everton. I'm just not. But I will back him. I'm just not excited. So, yeah, that's it. I've got nothing else to add. I've rambled for 23 minutes of your time just before the England game. And yeah, we'll see where we go from here. And to the Liverpool fans who are absolutely loving this, I was going to say what comes around goes around, but it's taken far too long for it to go round. So enjoy this. Enjoy this, because I can guarantee that absolutely none of you would say it to my face. So enjoy it. Put your little keyboard warrior tweets on. Put your little keyboard warrior comments on. Come on, come at me. Because honest to God, you'd never say it to my face. Have a good night, guys. Peace.